Do you work in a strip club? Michael McLean, NoBullBook.com, coming to you on an absolutely gorgeous day in Naples, Florida. I wanted to shoot this quick video to tell you a story that the great badass marketing wizard Dan Kennedy shared about how we're all trying to work inside a strip club day after day. He was asked the question in an interview about how does he write books, how does he produce newsletters, how does he get the important done without being connected to the internet, without using email, without using any technology whatsoever, especially anything that's connected to the internet. And he replied to the person interviewing him, he said, "How do you get anything done working in a strip club?" When I read this article, I knew I had to share it with my brotherhood, because knowing Dan for the last 20 years on a personal level, this is one of the greatest analogies that he's come up with for the swamp that is the internet, anti-social media, all of these toxins in our life that are just killing personal productivity. I deal with it, I work with it every single day in business, and I'm constantly working, even with my elite top 1% businessmen, how to get it all done in today's world, crazy world, but still enjoy an amazing life. And one of the secrets that I've used, that I learned from Kennedy years and years ago, a couple of decades ago, is when it comes to personal productivity, when it comes to time management, when it comes to getting things done, like writing, like reading, like marketing, like advertising, things that bring me money, things that are good for my mental and physical health, like walking and training and drinking water and anything that serves me. How do we make time to get these done? It's really been a question about looking around and seeing what everybody else is doing. What is the 99% crowd doing? What is the 99% mediocre, ordinary, and quiet desperation crowd doing at this time in terms of personal productivity, in terms of internet? How do they work? And Dan nailed it with this analogy of working in a strip club. And it's interesting because for the last 20 years, where I've accomplished more than I did in the first 20, I have worked almost completely uninterrupted every single day. I own my mornings. I win my mornings every day. I get the 2 or 3 most important things done in my life every day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year without interruption. Little things like I work every morning. I write for an hour, my copywriting, which is my marketing, things that bring me money. And I write disconnected from the internet. When I work on my MacBook, I get the question all the time, Michael, how do you work for an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours writing with all the distractions? And my answer is, I eliminate all the distractions. I refuse to work inside a strip club when it comes to my writing and my marketing. So when I sit down every morning to write for a minimum 60 minutes, not only do I set my timer, but when I open up my MacBook Pro, the first thing that I do is I disconnect, and I do it the night before, but I disconnect myself to the internet, to any Wi-Fi. So when I'm sitting there writing for 60 minutes without any interruption, I'm never receiving emails. I don't have an opportunity to check, the scores on ESPN. I don't have anything coming in, nor do I have access to anything, except I'm focused on one thing. And that's creating copy, writing emails, writing newsletters, writing sales letters. I'm focused on that one thing for 60 minutes. That's how books get written, newsletters get written, and content gets created. That's how you write emails every single day that gets sent out every single day of the year, is focusing and disconnecting from that swamp of internet. All the distractions are put on hold. Another thing I do is I don't carry a cell phone. I carry a cell phone maybe 10% of the time, and I only use it as a phone. So that's critical because I'm not texting, I'm not receiving emails on my phone. I've taken all applications. I don't have any social media applications. I don't participate in social media. When I decided to opt out of that swamp 3 years ago, I just got rid of all the access. I really don't know how to access any of those social media platforms. So really, there's no chance of distraction. I don't have those apps. I don't have those links. I don't have my passwords. So I have not participated in any social media on a personal basis for almost 3 years. I use Facebook and YouTube for commercial purposes and commercial purposes only. And I don't even have anything to do with that. Mark Andre, my marketing director and business partner, handles all of the postings, all of the ads, all of the business stuff that we use anti-social media for. As far as, you lock up your cell phone, you put it away, you don't have to waste your valuable magic time, your valuable deep work time, with your phone within reach. If you want to write for half an hour a day or an hour a day on your marketing, all you have to do is make sure that you lock that phone away, you turn it off so you have no access to it, lock it in the trunk of your car, lock it in the safe at home, but put it somewhere where you don't have any access. And then when you sit down to write for half an hour or 45 minutes or an hour a day on the marketing, whatever it is, the number one thing that's going to bring you money that day, your number one priority, make sure that you disconnect the Wi-Fi on your laptop. And the night before, here's a secret, when you sit down, make sure that you put out your laptop the night before, and on your desk or the kitchen table or out by the pool, wherever you're going to be working, the one thing that you're working on is the only thing that you have on your desk. So when I get up in the morning, I've got my laptop sitting on my desk, and it's got the one thing that I'm going to work on, the copy that I'm going to write. Could be an email, could be a Facebook ad, it could be some copy for a sales page, it could be whatever it is, the one thing I'm going to work on that day that I'm going to dedicate my 60 minutes to. And I grab my laptop, and I have the piece of paper inside the laptop. So when I open up my MacBook Pro, the piece of paper there with the guidelines for what I want to write about is there, and nothing else. And I may take that laptop out to the pool, I may take it out to the boat, I may sit on the end of the dock, I may sit at the kitchen table, I may take it in my vehicle, wherever there's complete solitude, and I'll go there, no phone, no distractions whatsoever, and I'll go there and I'll set my timer. I don't use a phone, I use an old egg timer, believe it or not, so I don't have to be fucking around with one of these cell phones and all that other excuses. I'm just totally disconnected, the Wi-Fi is off, and I sit down and I write for an hour. And that's how writing gets done. But it's the same for everything. Like Dan nailed it right. Like the internet, if you're sitting there trying to accomplish something important, whether it's watching a webinar or you're trying to work on something important, and you're sitting there with internet access, you've got emails coming in, something like 500 emails per day. You've got over 150 text messages coming in. 98% of them, by the way, have nothing to do with business. You've got social media, you've got all these applications. It's just, you're literally bombarded with like 3,000 interruptions in a day. And the University of California study shows, and they did this study a few years ago, that it takes the average business person 12 minutes to regain their focus once they've been distracted. So in other words, with 1,000 interruptions, 2,000 interruptions, 3,000 interruptions, it doesn't make any difference. You're getting nothing done all day. You're doing a whole bunch of things and you're not doing any of them well. That's the not power of multitasking. So do what Dan says and what I've preached for a number of years, but most importantly, what I've lived for a number of years, is I just looked around 20 years ago. I look around every day now. I see what everybody else is doing. They're running around, multitasking. They're running around with cell phones, and they're on social media, and they're responding to this, and they're jumping to this, and they're like a bunch of dogs. You know, it's go fetch, go fetch, go fetch, bing, 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 go fetch. And I'm just the direct opposite. I refuse to fetch, and I refuse to work inside a strip club. When you think about it, you know, you have access to anything online. So you're sitting there and you have access to sports, you have access to gambling, you have access to pornography, you have access to videos, you have access to entertainment, you have access to movies, you have access to TV shows, you have access to your friends, to email, messaging. It's just endless. It's just endless. You're absolutely just sitting there playing defense. You're just playing defense, and you're playing not to lose. And what I do by not doing work and not living and not existing in the online strip club is I basically I isolate myself until my 3 things are done every day, which is walking, reading, and writing. Until I got those 3 things in the bag, I don't care if it's Christmas Day, Thanksgiving Day, I feel good, I don't feel good. Until I got those 3 priorities in the bag, I just isolate myself. I literally isolate myself. I don't turn on my phone until at least 11 a.m. I have no access to email or texting in the morning. I have no access ever to social media, YouTube, any of that stuff. So my mornings are very peaceful and very quiet. I have time to walk 4 miles. I have time to read for an hour and take notes and study and get smarter and sharpen the axe. And thirdly, I have lots of time to sit down and write copy, things that bring me money. And then once those things are done, the chaos of the day can happen, but I've got the 3 most important things. And then when I'm done my chaos of the afternoon, if you want to call it that, then at 3 o'clock, I pick up my daughter and I head home and I shut off my phone again. Even if I don't even carry it to get her at school, but that's it, that's all. Then it's family time from 3 to 4 o'clock on. We got our sports, we got our clubs, we got our social time, we got our dinners, we got our date nights and all that stuff. So, you know, you just can't expect to be top 1% in anything when you're working inside a strip club. You just can't. And you're wasting all your valuable willpower by, I can guarantee you, you're punch drunk. You're punch drunk after an hour into your day. They say that the average businessman, let's say 99% of businessmen who sleep with their phone beside them, lose control of their day in the first 10 minutes. That's pathetic. If they lose control of their day in the first 10 minutes, before they hit the shower, they've checked their phone, somebody else's agenda, they're playing defense, they're scrambling, they're playing not to lose. They're doing the opposite of a badass and a champion instead of, you know, taking control, playing to win, and blocking that stuff out. By 10 minutes into the day, they've lost complete control of their day. And that's how losing is done. So if that's your life, you need to flip the script starting today. You need to say, okay, start small. The first hour of the day now belongs to me, the first hour. If you're having a hard time getting that hour, get to bed an hour earlier, and then you can get up an hour earlier before the chaos of the morning. But no matter what, 7 days a week, the first hour of the day belongs to you. And what do you do with that first hour? Your number one priority, whatever that is, and you need to make that decision. If you've got health issues, maybe that's walking. If you've got money issues, that's marketing. If you've got mental health issues, maybe that's reading. But you need to prioritize the first hour of your day from now on is for you. And then as you get this going, you make it 2 hours. And then as you keep going, you make it 3 hours. And I'll tell you, if you get to 3 hours, if you own the first 3 hours of your day, like I have for a couple of decades now, you're not a top 1%er. You're going to be a top 1%er, 0.001%. If you can find a way to own that first hour, and then own a second hour, and then own a third hour, your life and business will never be the same again. But it starts with that first hour. So get to bed earlier, get up at the same time every day early, and stop working in a strip club. Stop working in a strip club. Stop wasting your precious energy, your precious deep work time, which is first thing in the morning, your precious magic time when your best ideas come to you. I don't give a shit whether you're a morning person or not. I went through all that BS too. I don't care. In the morning is when your subconscious has worked all night, and you're going to have your best ideas and you're going to have your deepest, most profitable work in the first 3 hours. And then after that, it's gone for the day. So what do you want to spend that time, those first hours of the day? Do you want to spend that texting and on social media and listening to news and politics and conversing with your idiot friends? Or do you want to spend that time investing it in things that are going to build a brand new world? Remember, your magic time and your deep work happens in the first 3 hours. After that, almost every single person is mentally done for the day. So that precious time, I'm not going to allow that time for anybody. And that's why I refuse to play defense, or I refuse to play not to lose in those first 3 hours of the day. My 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m., and 9 a.m., I don't do anything until 11 o'clock. Now that's the level I'm at. That isn't Michael McLean business. I'm in the business of Michael McLean first and foremost. I can't help anybody if I don't take care of myself mentally, physically, and business. So it's the old saying, putting your oxygen mask on first. Well, guess what? I put mine on every morning from 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. and then I'm done. I don't really have much more energy after that. I don't really have many more ideas. I've done my deep work, I've done my magic time, and I'm done. And then I can have the chaos of the day. I can return calls, I can return emails, I can read my magazines. I can do all this stuff that really doesn't move the needle. But that needle moving stuff has been taken care of in the first 3 hours of the day. So that's it. As always, it's your choice. If you want to continue to play not to lose, if you want to play defense every day, then stay connected and keep working in a strip club every day where literally you're distracted from everything but the important. And you'll wake up a year from now, you'll wake up 5 years from now, you'll wake up 10 years from now, and you will have accomplished almost nothing. Certainly none of your goals, and you certainly won't have personal sovereignty. For me, it's all about personal sovereignty. So how can I create a world of personal sovereignty if I'm working every day in a strip club? So I refuse, and I isolate, I get the important done, and then I enjoy my life the rest of the day. The chaos of the day then can be the chaos of the day. I don't really care. I just roll with it. Seamless living. So that's it for today. Michael McLean. You can get a copy of my brand new book below, How to Not Get Your Ass Kicked in Business and in Life. My 25 Badass Millionaire Rules for helping you finally live life and do business on your own terms. The link is below, nobullbook.com. If you would like to get private coaching in my world building coaching group, I'm going to be opening up that in another few weeks. To apply, you can apply to link below, badassmillionaire.com/apply. And you and I can get on the phone and we can talk about whether this program is for you. It's not for most. And whether I'm the coach for you. I'm not everybody's cup of whiskey. So that's it for today. Like my dad said, remember, if you can't join them, beat them. Until tomorrow, 2 words that changed my life and 2 words that can change your life. Stay out of the strip clubs. Be relentless.